slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Brian Giles with Brian Giles MTG. And hoo-ha, we're here with Innastrad Remastered spoiler season. Starting our list off here, we have the first part of a meld card named Bruna the Fading Light, which is the bottom half of Brazella. So for a beefy 2 white and 5, you get a 5/7 legendary angel horror. When you cast this spell, you may return a target angel or human creature card from the graveyard to the battlefield. It has flying and vigilance. For 7, that's not bad. You get a card back, and you get a flying and vigilance 5/7 angel. Hoo-ha! Next up is the second half of Brazella, a voice of nightmares, is Gisela the Broken Blade, which is 2 white and 2 for a 4/3 angel horror, flying first strike and lifelink. Beginning of your end step, if you both can own and control Gisela and a creature named Bruna the Fading Light, exile them and meld them into Brazella, Voice of Nightmares. So Brazella, the Voice of Nightmares, is a legendary a 9/10 legendary Eldrazi angel with flying first strike, vigilance, lifelink. Your opponents can't cast spells with mana value 3 or less. So, hoo-ha. If you're playing Lock Down the Weenies deck, yeah, this is a creature for you, and it slaps hard. So next up, we have Thalia, Heretic Cathar. A white and 2 for a 3/2 legendary human soldier with first strike. Creatures and non-basic lands your opponents control enter tapped. And there is her showcase full art version. I'm impressed with the choice here. This is a Thalia that hasn't been reprinted a lot. I like it a lot. Next up is an absolute surprise to me, but not surprising, since it hasn't been reprinted that much. Sorin Imperious Bloodlord. Now, for a black and 2, you get a 4 loyalty legendary planeswalker Sorin. For a +1 loyalty, you can target creature you control gains Death Touch and Lifelink till end of turn. If it's a vampire, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Another +1 loyalty, you may sacrifice a vampire. When you do, deal 3 damage to any target, and you gain 3 life. And -3 loyalty, you may put a vampire creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. With the current slates of vampires that we get in like Foundations, this thing, I had a Sorin that I traded off to a friend, MTG Hillbilly. Please check his channel out. He always appreciates new viewers and subscribers. He does a lot of stuff on Arena. He's a really cool guy. I traded my gave him my sword because I didn't have a vampire deck at that point, but now I do. Now I can get another Sorin, and this arguably is the best Sorin there is. There's really not a lot of downsides to it. You can use his highest ability right off the bat, slap down a big beefy vampire right out of your hand, and then you can use his +1s to either sacrifice vampires or give them Death Touch and Lifelink and a +1/+1 till end of turn. Also, this full art version that we have here, I like this version better than what's referred to as Sexy Sorin from Midnight Hunt. So I'm all the way down with this. I just thought that they were going to do this set kind of like a mishmash rehash of all the Innastrad sets that was going to look kind of a resemblance to double feature. No, they made good choices here. Like this, Through the Breach. So Through the Breach is a red and 4 for instant arcane. You may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. That creature gains haste. Sacrifice that creature at the beginning of the next end step. Splice onto arcane for 2 red and 2. Which means if you have another arcane spell, you can pay 2 red and 2 to add this spell's effect to that spell. That arcane spell. So this is a card that, with all the Eldrazi that we've gotten recently and like MH3 and whatnot, it just hits different. Next up, we have Tamiyo Field Research. Now, I know we got a version of this recently in Bloomborough, but this is a very good version of Tamiyo that I'm not unopposed to see in this set. So for a green, a white, a blue, and 1, you get a 4 loyalty legendary Planeswalker Tamiyo. +1, choose up to 2 target creatures until your next turn. Whenever either of these creatures deals combat damage, draw a card. -2 loyalty, tap up to 2 target non-land permanents. They don't untap during the controller's next untap step. -7 loyalty, draw 3 cards and you get an emblem. Then you cast spells from your hand without paying their mana cost. All about the free spell stuff. So this Tamiyo is definitely a desired version. Next up was a surprise to me, and in the version that they're presenting it as, Craterhoof Behemoth. Though it did make its first appearance in one of the Innistrad sets, it's most recognized as from the 2020 Jumpstart set as one of the hits from the Elves deck, the Elves packet that it came with. And here we're having it in a retro frame, which would be highly desirable to collectors and people that are going to bling stuff out. So for 3 green and 5, you get a 5/5 beast with haste. This creature enters, creatures you control gain trample and get +X/+X till end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. So, hoo-ha, Crater Hoof is the beastie of beasties. Next up, I think we've already covered Avacyn already, but here is the poster art. And I really like the way they've done the poster arts for this set. They're more legible than a lot of poster arts that have been in the past, but they still give that poster feel to it. So for 3 white and 5, you get a legendary creature angel, Avacyn, Angel of Hope. It's flying, vigilance, and indestructible. Other permanents you control have indestructible, and she's an 8/8. Hoo-ha! Then we have Aberrant Researchers, which is a blue and 3 for a 3/2 human insect with flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, mill a card. Instant or sorcery card was milled this way. Transform this creature. The perfected form is 5/4 insect horror with flying. So hoo-ha. Oop. We have Delver of Secrets, which is a blue mana for a 1/1 human wizard. Name your upkeep as the top card of your library. You may reveal that card. If an instant or sorcery card was revealed, transform this creature and transforms into Insectile Aberration, a 3/2 human insect with flying. We got Deranged Assistant. So a blue and 1 for a 1/1 human wizard with tap it to mill a card, add a colorless mana. Then you have Docent of Perfection, a 2 blue and 3 for a 5/4 insect horror. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/1 blue human wizard creature token. Then if you control 3 or more wizards, transform this creature. It becomes the final iteration, a 6/5 Eldrazi insect with flying. Wizards you control get +2/+1 and have flying. When you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/1 blue human wizard creature token. So definitely some good synergy here, and we'll see later with some other things around blue and insects and wizards. So I'm not unhappy with the choices we've seen here. We have Rise from the Tides, which is kind of a beefy blue and 5 for a sorcery. Create a tap 2/2 black zombie creature token for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. Okay, well, that works, especially if you're playing that type of deck. Then we have Thing in the Ice, which is a blue and 1 for a 0/4 horror with Defender. It enters with 4 ice counters on it. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, remove an ice counter from this creature. If it has no ice counters on it, transform it into Awoken Horror, a 7/8 Kraken Horror. When this creature transforms into Awoken Horror, turn all non-horror creatures to their owner's hand. Ew. Okay, we can have some horror vibes going on here. Not unhappy with that. We have Bloodline Keeper. I really like the choice for this. So 2 black and 2 for a 3/3 vampire with flying. You can tap it to create a 2/2 black vampire creature token with flying. And pay a black mana and transform this creature. Activate only if you control 5 or more vampires. And when you flip it, it flips into Lord of Lineage, which is a 5/5 vampire with flying. Other vampires you control get +2/+2, and you can tap it to create a 2/2 black vampire creature token with flying. And this comes in the Vampire Fang frame. It also comes in the standard generic frame as well. Next up, we have Captivating Vampire. A vampire lord at 2 black and 2, 2 black and 1 rather, for a 2/2 vampire. Other vampires you control get +1/+1. Tap 5 untapped vampires you control, gain control of target creature, and becomes a vampire in addition to its other types. It also has this nifty, and I'll get you a better view of it, the poster frame. And again, it really gives the, it's got a good poster frame. It's really legible. You can see all the things that you need to on it. I'm not unhappy with this. I'm really liking this. This is what double features should have been. Gravecrawler. I know we've seen this, so recently, but people like zombies, and this is a good zombie to have. Single black mana for a 2/1 zombie that can't block, and you can cast this card from the graveyard as long as you control a zombie. And the return of Gristlebrand. Now, it was expected that people were hoping they'd unban Gristlebrand, but such has not happened. So he's a beefy 4 black and 4 for a 7/7 demon, legendary demon with flying and lifelink. You pay 7 life and draw 7 cards. Well, this with Shieldred would slap hard. Probably why they don't have Gristlebrand unbanned. He also comes in this very nifty poster frame. And again, everything is legible. You have the casting cost clearly visible. It tells what it is, gives it its thing, and gives its abilities. And I'm not unhappy with this. Again, this I believe is what double feature should have been. We should have had the poster frames, maybe even some of the silver screen foils. But yeah, this slaps. Haunted Dead. Black and 3 for a 2/2 zombie. When it enters, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. Pay a black and 1 and discard 2 cards. Return this card from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Hoo-ha. Olivia's Dragoon. A black and 1 for a 2/2 Vampire Berserker. You can discard a card to give this creature flying until end of turn. Hoo-ha. Now we've gone over Sorin and Super Sexy Sorin. Now we have a Braid, which I'm not surprised to see in this set. Classic Braid. A red and 1 for instant read. Choose one. Either deal 3 damage to target creature or destroy target artifact. And it comes in a full art version as well. So I'm going to leave that here for right now, and we'll see you on the next Innastrad video.